back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Game 4 of Na'Vi versus Liquid. Currently 2-1 in favour of Liquid. Apparently the Dota TV only just appeared for me, and yet it's already been up for like a minute and a half. So these damn two teams have been drafting too quickly. What's all this about? So it's a Slardar Disruptor start up on the side of Na'Vi, and Liquid have grabbed up the Earth Spirit. With the bans, they've got Na'Vi got rid of the Oracle again and the Lone Druid, and Liquid doing exactly the same starter bans they've done every single other game of the Lina and the Doom. Take one of two core pickups of the side of Na'Vi. The Slardar, I think, I can't remember how many times Na'Vi have picked up the Slardar. I don't think they've actually picked it up before so far this tournament. They don't. But Liquid, they're actually going for a Grimstroke. Definitely not something you see very often at all. So we'll see what sort of big pairing they're going to try and go for with that. Even just the Earth Spirit and the Grimstroke by themselves. You put the Ink Swell onto the Earth Spirit, he rolls in, stuns someone, and then the Ink Swell pops, stuns him again. So it is a good way to initiate onto a team fight and just keep the core target locked down for as long as possible. But even still, if you're picking up a Grimstroke, you want something that can pair up pretty damn well with the Spectral Daggers. Spectral Daggers? I said Spectral Daggers because I just saw the bloody PA ban. But yeah, you want something that can pair up with the Fatal Bonds, get a nice double skill of some sort. Let's see what Liquid have got in their goodie bag. But yeah, Na'Vi, they ban out the PA. Liquid taking out the Lifestealer. I think it's the first time this entire series that a position 1 has not been grabbed in the first 2 picks. So a lot of carries are now just going to start getting banned out. And Na'Vi, they actually take away the Enigma again. Definitely fearing that in the hands of Tiger. Even though they've already pretty much got Tiger's role with the Earth Spirit, and then Insanely will be on the Grimstroke. I mean, Boxy, I think he does play Enigma, but I don't think he actually prefers playing it all that much. But Liquid banned out the Faceless Void. Always an obnoxious carry to go up against. Na'Vi actually ban out the Sven. You know, I'm quite liking the Morph pickup for the side of Liquid at the moment. Just the fact they'll be able to turn into the Slardar, and then you've got that guaranteed stun, as well as the speed boost from the sprint, as well as even turn into Disruptor. You'd be able to then get a glimpse available. So I think that could be quite a nice start up so far. But Liquid are going to ban out the Spectre as well. So none of that shenanigans coming out again this game. Liquid have to go for the Jug. So the Jug definitely pairs up quite nicely with the Grimstroke in the laning phase. Just the Ink Swell plus the Blade Spin. Do a lot of damage onto someone, plus they get that guaranteed stun on top as well. It is quite potent to go up against this. It's going to be quite a difficult game lane for General to be up against as the Slardar. Even though you should have an alright time being able to CS against the Jug, even be able to harass him, but there is always going to be that constant threat of the potential kill coming out from the side of Liquid. Especially if Tiger ends up rotating around as this Earth Spirit. So see what Na'Vi's going to grab up as their first pick. They're going to go for their position 1 now as well. But they know they're going to be up against the Juggernaut. Maybe even see something like a Slark, perhaps? If you ever get caught out by the Omni Slash or anything, you've always got your ult just to be able to evade it pretty easily. They're actually going to go for the IO. So perhaps we might see them do a similar play of what Liquid done and do the Slardar IO in the off lane. It worked out pretty well for them. But with the Disruptor pickup, it's pretty much always Wanna Fly who's going to be playing this hero. So this is most likely going to be a Roger IO. So it is looking like it's going to be the same strat coming out from Na'Vi. Definitely a good way to heal up through the damage coming out from the spin and ink spell as well. They could actually grab up the Storm Spirit. So want to be able to zip straight onto the backlines, focus down the IO and Disruptor as much as he can. Why does Storm Spirit look so tiny in comparison to Jug? Look, he's absolutely mini. Na'Vi actually go for the Anti-Mage. Okay, it's definitely a hero that can easily escape from the Jug. Spin, easily just blink away, even if he gets hit by the Omni Slash, be able to blink that off as well. Plus he's a natural Manta style builder as well, so he'll always be able to purge off the Orchid that's going to be coming out from the Storm Spirit. So I'm liking this lineup so far from Na'Vi actually. But even still, Vichun's going to have to be careful because, as I was saying earlier, there is that stun lock potential coming out from the Earth Spirit and the Grimstroke, as well as the follow-up that will be coming from the Storm Spirit. So it looks like Na'Vi still after their mid laner, whilst Liquid are after their off laner. So Liquid, they're after someone who can get on top of this anti-mage and stay on top of him. The Na'Vi have already banned out the Night Stalker, which would have been a good way to just keep that anti-mage from easily blinking away. Could maybe see a Pango pickup. Put that in the hands of Boxy. If you can get a nice rolling thunder area, you can stun lock Vichun quite nicely. But even still, if he misses the first one, it will just give Vichun the ability just to blink off, so maybe won't see that pickup. Maybe they could still just go for something like a Timber Saw and then just make the lane annoying for Vichun, but even still, Vichun will be able to burn off a lot of his mana. Na'Vi are going to pick up the Tiny as their mid laner. So pretty much exactly the same matchup as we saw earlier on. I think it was the second game. It was Storm Spirit and Tiny mid. But Liquid are actually they're going to grab the LC. I mean, this is definitely a good way to get on top of the anti-mage, because it's not like you can counter-spell it, because if you counter-spell a duel, you just duel anyway. So you're still stuck in that same spot. So I quite like this pick up from the side of Liquid. I think there's going to have to be quite a few rotations coming out from Iceberg in the early portions of this game to try and give Vichun a nice early start. But an Earth Spirit and a Legion Commander can apply quite a bit of pressure, especially onto Always Wanna Fly on the Disruptor. So I think if Na'Vi can give Vtune enough space in his safe lane to start coming online and protect him from Boxy and Tiger, I think Na'Vi will be able to actually get away with this game. But if Boxy and Tiger have a really nice time in the off lane, it will be a lot of pressure on General and Roger to start making moves around the map and trying to create as much space for the AM to come online. But even still, it's a pretty early to mid-game orientated lineup for the side of Liquid. Juggernaut, he only really needs like a S and Y or something to actually come online and start making moves across the map. While the anti-mage, he needs his Battle Fury and then he needs his Manta style, and that's just so he can safely farm. Really, he can still get involved with those items, but you're not really going to be having the greatest amount of impact at that point. Hey, we'll see what Liquid's able to do. If they're able to apply a lot of pressure onto Vtune or not, we'll have to see. But instantly a smoke up coming out from the side of Liquid here, and they're heading straight towards the Radiant Triangle. And who will they be running into? Defensive General's going to be staying on this high ground area. Tiger, he's miles in the front. He's going to have to wait for his team to start getting here. And the smoke will pop. He's going to find General and Always Wanna Fly, but they're both dispersing. The roll forward will actually connect onto Always Wanna Fly, and he is getting body blocked up by Tiger, so he's probably going to end up falling for this. Spin and then the Stroke of Fate as well. First blood clean up by Mickey. So giving him a nice little start to this laning phase already. There are some nice early booties online.
You should have known there's no your place.
So see if Boxy's going to try and contest for this bounty room down here, or if he'll let it go. But Iceberg's actually rotated around to the triangle, and it's forced Tiger and Insania away, so they're not going to be able to clear that one up. And they're not. Roll forward, come forward from Tiger. He actually misses the mark, because Always Wanna Fly dodges it. And General manages to stag the bounty rune. He's getting slowed up though. There's not enough follow-up from the side of Liquid. Mickey wasn't close enough to do a spin. So will actually be 3 bounties going towards the side of Na'Vi. Just Always Wanna Fly and Insania, just having a little tickle fight with each other with their piddly starter damage. So they do actually swap around, so it's not going to be the same sort of thing we saw for Liquid doing in their previous game. So Roger will actually just take the IO to the safe lane and try and support Vtune as much as possible. Full forward from Tiger connects onto Roger, just applying a little bit of damage at this point. Not really enough to try and actually go for a kill. So Mickey's definitely not going to have the easiest time in the world up here, that's for sure. Taking quite a lot of harassment, because even the bash, the greater bash, just pierces through the stun as well. But I think once they hit level 3, we'll probably see Liquid make a move. With the level 2 spin and then level 2 Inkswell as well. So that's when it starts getting dangerous for the side of Na'Vi. Right down bottom though, Vtune is having quite a nice time. Top of the CS chart at the moment. And doesn't feel like there's much that Boxy can do. The Earth Spirit not able to apply too much pressure. The heals coming out from the IO, sustaining Vtune. And if they step close to the creep wave, they just get all their mana burnt away. So it's quite a difficult situation to be in. Liquid. Boxy dropping super low down bottom. All it takes is a few hits from V-Tune, all of his mana gone, and if the LC doesn't have any mana, it cannot cast this press the attack. Even one mango gives him exactly enough mana to cast it, but if he gets hits once after he pops that mango, he isn't going to be able to cast it at all. So Mickey always want to fly his get there, just pin down here with the spin, and then the ink swells on top. It's enough damage to bring always want to fly down. And here's the kill finally happening in this top lane. As I said, as soon as they hit that level 3 mark, very scary place for the side of Na'Vi. And I imagine we'll probably just see that happening every single time that these two skills are off cooldown. But even still, despite the fact that they are getting pressured quite a bit at the top, the bottom lane is going perfectly fine. V-Tune got a central free farm down here. So maybe Tiger's waiting to see if he can make a move. Iceberg's actually stepped onto the other side of the river, so this could be a potential time for Tiger to go. Does he have the kick available? Yeah, he's got the kick, so he might be able to get a roller forward onto Iceberg. Stack Vortex comes in there for Quiver, slow him down, kick back towards the tower. Iceberg's taking quite a bit of damage. The slow does come out with the last in power. Iceberg still just survives with 50 HP. There's another roll forward in 2 seconds to the side of Tiger. He needs to connect this. We always want to fly. He's getting pressured now by Koif in the mid, but it doesn't look like he's going to have enough to bring him down. Tiger, he actually gets the connection with the boulder onto Iceberg and finishes him off with that little kick to the face. Maybe if you're thinking about going for always want to fly here as well. He does spot him. Not going to want to dive to tier 3 though. That would just be suicide. Where's your balls, man? Where's your balls? So bounties just go for a 2-for-2 split. Both grabbing the other side's triangle bounty. Tiger, he's coming from behind. He's going to get the connections, always want to fly. With the Inkswell on top, and that's just going to be Disruptor dying. Another kill going towards Mickey now on a killing spree. So despite the fact that V-Tune is beating Mickey in CS, it's just the fact that Mickey is also getting all these kills as well, which is really padding out his farm. But even still, V-Tune's ahead by 200 gold at the moment. Probably due to the fact that he's not having to spend any money at all on sustainable items. Doesn't have to buy any tangos or anything like that, but Mickey has to keep a constant supply coming out, and that's the only thing that's holding him back. Quiffer gets another rune secured for him. He's got his level 6 online now as well. So see if maybe he wants to try and put a little pressure plus some out. Meanwhile, Tiger, he rotates up top and they actually get another kill into General. Dominating spree now in the hands of Mickey. Nearly level 6 as well. So V-Tune, he's only about halfway through to his level 6. He's getting pretty close to it himself though. So there's a very small XP advantage in the favour of Mickey up top, but even still, a free farm anti-mage is a scary anti-mage, that's for sure. We're in the mid, Tiger. Rolls forward, gets another connection onto Iceberg. Koifa drops really low, but unfortunately General is not there in time to provide enough assistance. And Koifa escapes with his life. Now it's just always want to fly, left alone up top. He needs to be super careful. If Mickey and Insane get even close to him, he will just fall pretty quickly. Despite the fact that Boxy's been alone this entire time in this lane, he's still doing quite a good job in keeping himself going. 27 and 3. He is the worst out of the 2 offlaners, but he's not died at all once. So Koifa getting lucky again. Bounty Rune spawns down bottom. I think even General knows. He's like, well, someone's been paying Gaben, that's for sure. So DD now bottled up. You probably see him start making a move with this now. And as we see in all the other games, Insania just being an absolute demon with these stacks. I think it's a quad stack and another quad stack. And as a result, to see Koifa's farm just all of a sudden skyrocket from where he was. And just like that, he's only just behind the farm of the Juggernaut and the Anti-Mage. So it's going to be another really early Orchid Malevolence. He's only about 1,400 gold away, 1,200, sorry. It's going to be really nice timing. Especially if Insania keeps on making stacks for him. The Vitrin, he's nearly finished up his, I say nearly, actually still needs the Void Stone as well. So he's about 1,500 gold away from finishing up his Battle Fury. Still a little ways off. Meanwhile, Mickey and Insania making the move onto General up top. He even commit the Omni Slash there just to guarantee the kill, and General falls again. He's now 5-0 on this Jug. He's having a complete monster of a game so far. Iceberg's coming in. Being pretty quick, even the glimpse back there onto Mickey, and he will just fall for this. Getting a little bit greedy and overextending. Gets caught out in the end. You know, Koifa's rotating around, trying to make a move onto Roger, but General's also TPing back in here. And they will just force Liquid to bail. How close is Iceberg to this Blink Dagger now? Only about 1,000 gold away. You calling Liquid already, are you? I mean, it's only a 1k lead, and this is a free farm anti-mage. And despite the fact that Vitune has 0 kills and 0 assists, he's still 200 gold over the top of the Jug, and he doesn't even have his Battle Fury finish yet. It all sort of shows the importance of creep kills. The glimpse back from Always Wanna Fly, keeping Boxy in place, even the relocate from Roger and Iceberg just to guarantee this kill. So finally Vitune actually gets a kill, so in fact his game's going to keep getting even better. 600 gold now away from finishing up his Battle Fury. Meanwhile, only 800 gold. 800 gold for Mickey. And 500 gold for Vitune. So he is ahead just slightly. Apart from that, these two pretty much have identical builds. Minus the boots. The only things that are really different about them. So I really think that Koifa, he now has this Orchid online. He has to hunt down this Anti-Mage now. Liquid, they just cannot afford to give Vitune any more space in this game. Oh, in the mid lane, they actually find Iceberg instead, so they make a move onto him, but there's enough healing sustain coming up from Roger. It's taken a really long time. He even turns into both of them, does a lot of damage, but it's not enough to actually bring anyone down. Tiger rolls forward. And the rest of Na'Vi are trying to hunt forward, and there's the glimpse of Always Wanna Fly. Tries to go for the roll out. It actually gets cancelled somehow. But he's just so damn elusive. He manages to make it away. And oh no! I missed that, but V-Tune, he gets way too cocky. Tries to go for Koifa and just throws his life away. That's quite a big mistake to make. Because now that's just giving a more of a gap now between Liquid and Mickey and V-Tune. Mickey about to finish up his Battle Fury. We'll have it coming out in the courier. It's going to make him farm up another triple stack and another double stack. Courtesy of Insania. With the double damage, look how quickly they'll die. Monstrous. Well, Navi, they're making a rotation around the top, trying to find someone. But it's just the two supports of Liquid up here. They will find the kill onto Insania. The Tiger just bails straight away. They're not going to find anyone else. So nice read there by Liquid. They bail just in time. Battle Fury now online for V-Tune, so he'll start accelerating his farm as well. And then the anti-mage can always farm faster than that of a Jug, purely because of the blink. This makes it so damn quick getting to camps. Boxing for Koifa, they find the first tier 1 in the game. Take that down bottom. You got a Iron Branch in your inventory there, Vichin. Any sort of efficiency, you need that. Iceberg jumps forward with his Blink Dagger now finished. Throws Tiger back on top of General. Keeps him stun locked and he's dead. We're seeing immediate smoke out now from Liquid. They spotted Vichu, they know he's here. Koifa jumping forwards. Guesses the wrong side though. Trying to jump forward onto Vichu, but he pops that mirror image. Not mirror, sorry. Mirror shield. And they actually get the glimpse back onto Boxy, pull him all the way back into the disruption field. Toss combos there from Iceberg to finish him off. And General even finds Insania. So a failed gank from Liquid, and it results in them getting punished quite hard. Again, it's another gank avoided on V-Tune. And here's the target that Liquid desperately need to find. The longer they leave it, the closer V-Tune is to finishing up this man style. I mean, it's a little bit worrying though for the side of Liquid, the fact that it's nearly 16 minutes in and Boxy still does not have a single duel victory. And duel victories are something that Legion Commander really needs to actually start spiraling out of control. He's going to run into Iceberg. Iceberg does manage to snag the illusion rune. It doesn't look like Liquid want to try and pressure too hard to find this anti-mage. Maybe realising that the majority of Na'Vi is just huddled around him, waiting for someone on the side of Liquid to get a little bit overconfident, step out of position. So it's a game of cat and mouse at the moment, really. It just feels like Na'Vi's always in super close proximity to each other, really huddled around. Meanwhile, the side of Liquid, They're extremely spread up across the map, just soaking up as much farm as they possibly can. I mean, sure, the way Navi's playing this, they're securing the farm for the anti-mage, but it's causing every single other hero on their squad to suffer as a result. And Navi are actually going to smoke up. They will spot Koifer trying to backdoor the creeps. He's just going to go for a quick TP out there, so nicely read from him. But it looks like Navi, they may run into Boxy. But he's able to bail just in time. And they'll just push straight into the triangle, trying to find the jug, but he's on the other side of the map as well. He's still farming up all of these stacks that Insania just keeps making for him. So the farm between V-Tune and Mickey is pretty damn similar. That is now going to be the Manta online for V-Tune, so that opportunity to try and get a kill onto him with the Orchid has now run out. So any sort of play like that is sort of off the books now for Liquid. We see Iceberg's rotating up top. He will find a move onto Tiger. Even the follow-up from General there. Kicks him back, makes a space for him to go for the rolling boulder out. And he is actually able to escape from his life. There's a lot of rotations for the side of Na'Vi just to try and go on the position 4, and they don't even kill him. It's a bit of insult to injury there. I think I'm quite surprised that Mickey as well has actually still got a larger net worth over the top of V-Tune. But I think this is purely down to the fact that even at this late into the game, Insania is still making stacks, which is sort of negating the blink advantage that the anti-mage has. Boxy needs to be careful. He's spotted that bomb. He tries to make a move towards one to fly, but he drops the disruption before he can use a duel. And he is just going to die for this. So it feels like Boxy's ultimate at this point in the game, it's just going to be used to hold someone there. Like, they're not really going to be able to guarantee any sort of dual victories anymore. And Mickey's holding high ground. Iceberg's going to run straight into him, commits the Omni Slash straight away. And he just melts in a second. It's a nice little play there by Liquid, managing to find something else. Meanwhile, the rest of Na'Vi, they find Insania, trying to make some stacks for Mickey near in triangle. But even still, that's definitely the better trade for the side of Liquid, taking away Iceberg. So far, exactly the same items between these two heroes. Mickey, Basher and Manta. V-Tune, Basher, Battle Fury and Manta, sorry. And he's building towards the Abyssal Blade, and Mickey, he's building towards the Basher as well. So they are literally going for exactly the same build. So we'll see what hero is more effective of these items, whether it's going to be the Jug or the Anti-Mage. Koifer sort of stopped snowballing now though. He is still 2k ahead of Iceberg, the other mid laner. But even still, it just hasn't felt like he's been able to apply much pressure across the map. He's got his BKB finished up, which is a good way to avoid the quite large amount of stuns on the side of Na'Vi with the Tiny and the Slardar. Plus also the glimpse back and the disruption field from the Disruptor. Stack Storm, sorry, not Stack Field. I almost call it Stack Field, and that's Kinetic Field. All these goddamn skills sounding too similar. Basher's now online for Mickey. And Basher getting delivered for V-Tune as well. So, pretty much identical on these item timings. Only 500 gold difference between the two. Liquid is smoked up. Jump forward from Boxy. They find the grab onto Iceberg. They drops the static field on top. Meanwhile, Koifa jumps into the back. He gets hit by the stun from General. Then the Mana Void comes out from Vichu. He disappears in a second. Even Tiger gets caught in place. He can't do anything to survive that. Buyback. Vichu just gets a quick kill onto Insane. And this is the buyback from Iceberg that's being used here. But it doesn't even matter. For the buyback for Iceberg, you get 4 kills in return. And Mickey just has to run away. He didn't even have an opportunity to use his Omni Slash there. He was just in full retreat mode the entire time. And Na'Vi is going to quickly roll straight into the Roshan pit. So lovely, lovely fight there. General was just in the absolute perfect position to jump on top of Boxy straight away and just lock him down. And with Vichu right next to him, takes away all of his mana and only a few hits. And with the Mana Void on top, he just dies in a lickety split. But they're actually going to pass the Aegis over to Iceberg, which is a little bit different. Maybe Vichu he just has no fear this game. But now I think for the first time this game, Vichu has finally got over the top of Mickey's net worth. Sure, it's only 200 gold, but even still, he's above him. And he's biting up again. So he always want to fly. He might get scouted out here. Places the ward, sees the rest of Liquid before they actually see him, and he manages to survive. There might have been Boxy finally getting a duel win. Oh, actually, he did get a duel win. I think he actually got the kill on Iceberg before it ran out. I thought it ran out in that previous fight. But never mind. But always want to fly is hanging around here. The rest of Na'Vi rotated in. Iceberg trying to make the jump onto Insania, but not enough damage. Even the static field just locked him in place. Vichu finally gets involved. Mickey trying to do as much damage as possible can. Omni Slash is finally committed. Gets a lot of damage onto Iceberg in its back. Meanwhile, Vichu, he actually gets locked down by the jewel. The rest of the team's trying to lock it down, but he actually manages to escape in time. And he's able to disengage. The Aegis is used by Iceberg, jumps back in, gets a return kill onto Boxy, but Vichu jumps straight towards the back. He finds Boxy in the back, but he gets silenced up straight away, and he actually ends up dropping. General's even brought back here himself. He's going to try and provide a little bit of assistance to Iceberg, who's getting hunted down by Tiger and Mickey. But nice avalanche time in there, counters out the rolling boulder coming out. And it gives him enough spaces to retreat. And General's just going to try and sneak away these bounty runes. So, a complete opposite to what we saw in the last fight. It ends up being a team wipe with 2 buybacks on the side of Na'Vi. So, lovely fight there from Liquid. Only losing Boxy and Insania. I think Vichu, he was looking to get the Mana Void onto Koifa, but the silence from Tiger just in time to prevent that from happening. And I think if he got that Mana Void off, it probably would have blown up everyone else on the side of Liquid as well. In fact, there was 1500 mana missing. Would have been a huge amount of damage. But Abyssal Blade is now online for Mickey. He's got that 1k advantage over the top of Vichun, but Vichun, he's only 300 gold away from finishing Abyssal Blade of his own. Always want to fly. Trying to get a little bit of vision down, but you get seen by Boxy just in time. And that's finally a second duel win for Boxy there. At last. At long, long last. Mickey going for the next item of the butterfly. Make it a little bit more difficult for Vichun to try and deal a bit more damage into him. But exactly the same build from Vichun. He goes for the butterfly as well. This is it's funny just how perfectly identical these two builds are. Well, I mean, apart from the boots. But I mean, a Juggernaut with power treads would just be terrible. Really terrible. Looks like Liquid. They're sort of gathering up around the mid lane, maybe thinking about trying to make a move. Even General himself. Oh, Boxy jumps forward. He actually finds the grab onto always fine in the background. Quick little victory there on another duel. So his damage is actually starting to rack up now. Plus 60. I think there's a lot of weight on Vichun's shoulders now. Sure, he's got the farm, and he's got the levels as well, but it's just the fact of where he's able to position himself in these fights, and ideally he needs to get on top of Koifa and get a big mana void on him while everyone else is around him, and that should just completely win him the team fight off the bat. Navi have done a smoke up now. They're going to be hunting to see if they can get a pick off. Ideally it would be Mickey and then Koifa as their primary targets. It looks like, again, they're probably only going to find Boxy. Actually, they're not even going to push forward anymore. They don't. Actually, I'm just going to end up falling back. Not wanting to dive too deep. Maybe just the info of creeps pushed into their tier 2 top and bottom would be enough for Liquid to realise something was up. But they could respond by doing a smoke of their own. And they're heading straight up into the jungle here. Boxy's going to have his vision broken. Gets a jump straight onto V2 with the duel. He's locked down in place. Will he be able to survive? He doesn't. He actually ends up dropping. The rest of Na'Vi could not do to actually keep him alive. Roger even gets caught off. It's now General in the chase. But a nice soul bond there coming out from Insania. Locking two in place. Always want to fly. Looking like he's going to fall. Iceberg just goes with the BKB TP out. General actually fell in the background as well. And it's a full team wipe going for Liquid. Beautiful beautiful jump there by Boxy, getting the duel onto Vichun. And without anyone else around to actually save him, he just fell too quickly. I think Roger tried going for a relocate save onto Vichun, but he was just slightly too slow. Oh, I think misclick there by Boxy. Pops his BKB by accident. Taunting with the sprays. But they're feeling it. Liquid think this is the game to win the tournament on. Able to take the first lane of Rax of the game as well. Just before anyone on the side of Navi actually turned. Oh, Iceberg jumps forward. It gives him the vision to get the glimpse onto Iceberg. But onto BKB. He actually chucks him out of the storm. And that lets him get the Omni Slash off. Meanwhile, Boxy, he gets the duel onto Always Want to Fly. Another victory going this way, but Vichun has actually spawned now. Mickey with the Abyssal Blade jumps forward onto Vichun. He's getting knocked down, but Vichun just able to get the Manta Style off and manages to escape with his life. Iceberg with his BKB activated. Mickey's just auto-attacking into him. And finally, a stun comes out there from General to keep him in place, but General just gets turned on, and he's going to fall 50 seconds with no buyback. And what looked like when Liquid was just going to bail and let Na'Vi recover, they overextended and ended up just throwing their own lives away. I think this could just be it. 21k gold lead now for the side of Liquid. It's really looking rough for Na'Vi to try and get their way back into this. Especially with the fact that Vichun is now 6k behind Mickey. Got that Butterfly finish, got that Abyssal Blade finish. On his way to Satanic as well. While Vichun, he still hasn't finished his Butterfly. This is the first time in this game that VTune and Mickey do not have the same items. Now Liquid just going to focus all of their force towards the top lane, going to take away the tier 2, going to head for that last lane of barracks of this game. Roshan, relatively long spawn timer, so still 1 minute and 20 before he's able to show his face. Looks like Na'Vi, they're going to go for a desperate smoke now. They need to get something off of this. I think they were trying to hope there was a Roshan spawn, but it's still not here. They're just going to wait. They're just going to wait. It's still 50 seconds away. It's definitely longer than the duration that smoke's going to last. But Liquid themselves, they've headed over to this portion of the map now, so even if Na'Vi did start going for that Rosh, it might put them into a pretty rough spot. They're so desperate. Roshan's just not going to spawn in time for this smoke to wear off. So Liquid, they'll now know that Na'Vi's just hanging around in this pit. And they're all positioned, ready to jump at a moment's notice. Roshan's up in 10 seconds. They're still just waiting. Their whole base is being sieged by creeps. So this is a massively clear indicator for the side of Liquid that Na'Vi is just camping in this pit. Finally, Roshan will spawn. But Liquid's ready and waiting. Even a double damage bottom. General, he actually gets a jump forward. Stops Koi from being able to grab it. Tiger now trying to grab it. Viching jumps forward. Got the double damage now online. But General, he gets caught. Boxy jumping forward, trying to get the duel into Viching. But he gets hit by the Soul Bomb. Viching just drops. Nowhere near enough sustainability to keep himself alive. Roger's going to fall as well. Always want to fly as the next target. He drops. And it doesn't even matter. Na'Vi tap out. And that is Liquid taking the grand finals of the ESL 1 Germany 2020 online tournament 3-1. With every single game that they managed to win was just super dominant showing. It just looked pretty rough. I mean, at one point, Na'Vi, they were doing quite well. Vichun was able to keep pace with the farm of Mickey, but in the end, it just wasn't enough. The rest of his team just crumbled around him, especially when Boxy managed to get those jewels on top of him. Could not move anywhere. There was no saves coming out. I think it was mainly Roger's job to relocate Vichun out every time he got caught out by that spell, but it just wasn't there in time. Unfortunately, it ends up costing him the game. It was too many times that Vichun died towards the start of those fights before he could actually have much impact. And it ends up losing the game. But either way, well played there to Team Liquid. Take the tournament 3-1. I think that's $150,000 is the prize for first place. So very well deserved by them. They had such a good showing throughout this tournament. Very impressed by them. They've improved quite a lot over this last month. So we'll start to see them being really dominant now in future tournaments. So other teams have got to watch out. They've really got to watch out. But thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed my cast. If you liked what I've been providing and you want to hear more, I have a Twitter and a YouTube account as well as a Twitch account. They're all linked on whatever profile you're actually watching this through. So yeah, I hope you guys will stick around and carry on using me as a content creator. But either way, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next series. See you later.